Hey guys, it's Danny. Today it is watering day in the plant room and I thought I didn't do a watering video in a while. Not that I changed anything in my routine, but I did improve certain things and I did adapt again certain things to fit my new planting style system. So I thought, you know what? Why don't I take you guys along and show you exactly how things are done, because things will go faster. I have to admit, watering is not my favorite thing to do when it comes to orchids. After so many years, more than 10 at this point, I've kind of had enough. But it has to be done. So we're gonna water my orchids together. Hope you'll enjoy today's video. If you do, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, and why not subscribe? I post multiple times a week and it's completely free. But if you're feeling extra about it, consider further supporting my channel by either becoming a member, using the affiliate links down below, checking out the merch, or using the super thanks option below my video. Right. With that said, let us start. Let's start with the bucket, because yes, I use a bucket. I have a bigger than normal bucket. I think it can hold about 20 liters. I have this bucket for years. It has been a very good friend, maybe 5 or 6 years at this point. Now, even though this bucket does have gradations, they can be a little invisible. So I drew over the line with a marker just to make them more visible, because I will be mixing water, so I need to know what quantity of tap water I use and what quantity of reverse osmosis. So what I use is around 5 liters of normal tap water, and then the rest is reverse osmosis water. I don't use only reverse osmosis water because it's not very economical. I also use fertilizer. Now, I sadly have run out of the MSU fertilizer quite a while back, and due to the very strict import laws of the country that I live in, I cannot import from rePotme more MSU fertilizer, and it's kind of sad. But yeah, for the moment, I cannot really do anything. I cannot import their potting mixes. I cannot import MSU. It's pretty sad. But I'm using a fertilizer that I purchased from Orchids Deluxe. Not entirely sure of the brand. They sell it without a brand on them, just in bags. And I have been using that one because I don't have a different one with a complete menu, and it has done the job. Coupled with the slow release fertilizer, it did kind of take the place of the MSU for now. So I wait for the fertilizer to completely dissolve, and it's time for watering. What I use now is this watering can, which I had a video on my second channel, but it was a short one. I purchased this from Amazon because I saw it in somebody else's video. And the reason why I use this one now, even though it's just 1 liter, I would have preferred it to be 2 liters, but no one's perfect. The reason that I love it is that it has a very long neck, and I do have quite a few tiny orchids that are, let's say, further on the shelf next to the wall, and with a more traditional watering can with a shorter neck, it's kind of hard to get to them. Also, some watering cans have a very large spout, I think that's how you call it, and it's messy. I splash water everywhere. Not what you want when you have grow lights on the shelves. I don't want splashes. This one does not splash at all. It's pretty great. The only thing is, it's 1 liter, so I have to go and refill it quite often, but I really like it actually. So, put myself some fertilized water in this watering can, and on I go to water my orchids. Alrighty, let's start with the little Tolumniads. So, being that I have a full sphagnum moss setup, with the top layer of bark, which doesn't really add anything to the mix, it prevents cyano, but because I have sphagnum moss, this acts like soil. So what I need to do is just water each orchid as such. I don't need to drain anything, because at this point I have gathered enough experience to know how much water I need to put in each container and for what plant, and how much it takes for it to completely dry out. Now, this did not just come to me in my dream. It's trial and error, pretty much. So everybody can do this at some point. But as I was saying, because I have a full sphagnum moss setup, I don't need to drain anything. Whatever falls at the bottom of these pots will be absorbed by the moss. Really easy. Right now the moss is super dry, it crackles. My orchids seriously needed watering, but since we're here, I will give you a little tip. If you have anything in sphagnum moss, full sphagnum moss, and you're at the beginning and you discover you kind of watered a little too much, there's a lot of water in the pot and you just want to add a little bit of water, a very efficient way of removing the water from the pot, which would otherwise not drain at all. When this sphagnum moss absorbs the water, you can shake it as much as your heart desires, nothing will come out. So to remove that water, if you overdid it, you put the pot on a paper napkin. You can also use a microfiber cloth, whatever thing you have around that is absorbent. And what will happen is that paper towel will absorb the water from the pot. So the more you leave it on the paper towel, the more water it will steal, quote unquote, from the sphagnum moss. Obviously, in order to do this, you need to have drainage holes, which I would suggest everybody have in their orchid pots, no matter what type of medium you're using, what type of pot. It is very important to have drainage holes because they come in handy. Now, as I was saying, I kind of figured out how much water I need to put there to keep these guys hydrated for about a week or so. I don't want them to be soggy more than a week, necessarily, sometimes 10 days, give or take a few days. But if my orchids stay wet for 2 weeks, that's a little bit sus. That means the air pockets in the sphagnum moss might actually be clogged for a lot of time. And yeah, I don't want to do that. That's always a little risky. I don't want to suffocate any roots. So a good time for me would be once a week, once every 10 days to water. That would be ideal. In the summertime, the way that I control this is by adding a little bit more water, just dropping a little bit more water than usual. Oopsie-daisy, I dropped too much, that's okay. In the summertime, it works out. In the winter, I drop only a little bit. Let's move on to some other orchids. So in the summer, I might pour water for 2 seconds. In the winter, only for 1, maybe, something like that. Because it's not very hot right now. There we go. And this is how fast I water. And look at my orchids, they're so beautiful. Now, don't get me wrong, this is just me adapting a little bit to the environment that I have. As I was saying in a different video, there is no such thing as the perfect orchid mix. It's trial and error. It will be different for each and every one of us. So until you find that perfect mixture that works great for you and it allows you to also have a life, not have to water all that frequent, it's a little bit of trial and error, and that's fine. That's how we do things. So I know that on video we tend to show the final product, right? We tend to show the right way all the time. But this right way is the result of a lot of practice. And in my case, it's over 10 years. Yep. So don't worry if you don't get things right in the first go, and don't judge necessarily people who do things a little bit differently, because in the end, we're all kind of adapting to achieve the same thing, good orchid growth. And that's just gonna be different for each and every one of us, and watering is no exception. Right, so what I'm gonna do is go ahead and water all of my orchids in this manner. And before we end the video, I'd like to talk to you a little bit about the water, because I think I didn't mention why I use reverse osmosis water. I also have aquarium tanks, and I'm sure some of you have some questions about that. So give me a second to finish off what I'm doing, and I'm gonna tell you all about aquarium water and if I use it or not. Alright, so why do I mix my water? Why do I use reverse osmosis water and tap water? Well, my tap water is very hard, and in time it will create a massive amount of deposits on my orchids, or actually on the surface of the medium. Those deposits, if they're too excessive, they're not very good for brand new roots. They also don't look that good, and because I use, let me show you. Alright, I'll make sure to give you close-ups. Because I use bark chips on top, which are not water retentive, I have a lot of just deposits, and that spoils the bark faster. It also might create some areas that can burn some sensitive root tips. I'll admit a little secret, sometimes I don't have enough reverse osmosis water and I just use the tap water. It is what it is, but it's fine. The idea is not to use it all of the time, because the more I use it, the more I create these deposits. Now, ideally, I would use reverse osmosis water with fertilizer, but I do not have the capacity of storing so much water as all of my orchids need, as my aquarium, some of them need. Also, it takes time for reverse osmosis systems to filter the water. They're not very fast. They create a certain amount of water in a certain amount of time. My system is a little old, it's not the most efficient, but I have seen some that are a lot more efficient, and I think I will save up for one of those. But anyway, I do not have easily the possibility to store all that much water and produce all that much water. Plus, there's also the saving up on some water aspect. Everything that I do, and many of you know, all of my setups revolve around saving the water, not having to waste it, not flushing the pots and so on and so forth, because I want to be as economical as possible for various reasons with the water that I use. So I do this bit of compromise. I use a mixture of the tap water and the reverse osmosis water so that I don't have the issues of only using tap water. And I have some of the benefits of using, I guess, softer water, medium soft water, which is absolutely fine for orchids. I managed to strike a balance in my mixture, and it kind of saves up on water. It's not necessary for people to do it, it's just something that I do, and yeah, that's why I combine the water. So now let's talk about the aquarium water situation. I will post on my second channel, the aquarium channel, my routine of maybe cleaning up a tank, and you will see what type of water I get out of this tank. What I do usually is siphon the substrate. And yes, I know this is a planted tank and it's hard to siphon, but I have a trick up my sleeve that I learned from the internet. So what I get out of the tank is a lot of gunk, you guys. Like, that water is gunky as heck. Now, here's the thing. If I would use that aquarium water on my potted orchids, I would introduce organics in the pot that need to break down. Now, the ecosystem in orchid pots is not the greatest when it comes to breaking down stuff. It doesn't work like it works in aquariums. Certainly it does not work like it works in soil or in the outside world. So what I would have in the end is a stinky, very acidic, very broken down madness in my pots in no time. So no, I do not use the water that I get out of these aquariums. But I don't actually get gunk from all of my aquariums because not all of them are super planted and super full of fish. Some of the tanks that I own are shrimp tanks. Now, in this type of tank, I do not have a whole lot of bioload, and whenever I do water changes, I don't necessarily get out a lot of gunk in here because they don't produce a lot of gunk. But the water coming from this tank, not only it's a little, it's just the cup, because the water change is very tiny in these types of tanks. So not only that, but it's also not appropriate for orchids. It's tap water. This is just tap water. The same properties this water has, my tap water has as well. So if I were to use this water, again, I would use it, on a few orchids, but I would have to mix it with a reverse osmosis water as well. So it's not like aquarium water, it's magical all of a sudden because it's aquarium water. I do understand that in certain parts of the world there are additives in the tap water, such as fluoride. We don't have this here. So I do understand that maybe some people use a different, maybe bottled water for their tanks or filtered water in a way, and they want to reuse that. Totally fine, I get it. But it's not my case. So the water that I get out of here is just the cup. It's the same as the tap water. Sometimes I use it on my plants that are potted in soil. Sometimes I just dump it in the garden, and pretty much that's what I do with most of the tank water that I get out. I I throw it in the garden. It will feed the trees, it will feed the plants in the garden. That's okay. It's a different ecosystem outside. It's the outside world. We have little insects, little microbes, all of those things that contribute to a proper breaking down of organics, which we don't find in orchid pots. So due to all of these reasons, I don't really use aquarium water on a large scale. Depends where it comes from, depends if it's gunky or clean or whatever. Sometimes, yes, I get the cup and I dump it in one of my, maybe sometimes even orchid pots. Yeah, why not, if it's clean enough. But on a large scale, I don't, because it's just not suitable. What I usually do with it is just throw it in the garden, which is absolutely fine. And yeah, it's a great way to reuse the water. I might also consider using it on plants that are potted in soil, because the ecosystem there is yet again a little different than in a full sphagnum moss setup. But I don't really have potted plants in soil. I think I have 2 or 3. Pretty much. Everything else, they're orchids and they're potted in moss, and it's just not suitable to put all of that bioload in my quote-unquote pretty sterile, if you think about it. Not wholly sterile, but compared to the garden, it's a pretty sterile environment. I don't have insects, for one, in my pots. I don't have all of the microbes necessary to break down all of this gunk, so yeah, I don't use it. So bottom line, aquarium water may or may not be the most suitable thing for orchids. It really depends on each person. Like we all have different environments, we also all have different types of aquariums and different tap water. And depending on this water is how you have to make the decision whether it's suitable for orchids, or you have to do something to it, like combine it with a maybe softer source of water, but reusing it in this way, if it's clean enough. If not, maybe it's better to go in the garden, water the garden plants. So yeah, you will find a lot of people using their aquarium water for various different reasons. Not all of these reasons apply to me, but it doesn't really mean anything. And yeah, you should know that each of us have different types of waters. So that is about it for today. The whole process takes me maybe an hour or so, maybe less when I'm in a hurry, because when I water, it's a good time to check on the orchids as well, maybe get them out of their pots and check the roots, see if I have anything developing on the bottom of my pots, and so on and so forth. Sometimes I do take my time with things, but sometimes I'm in a hurry and I need to water very fast, and I can be done in half an hour if I so desire. But yeah, in the end, I can do this because I use the potting mix that I use. If you would have an only bark potting mix, you could not get away with just watering like that, because bark is not absorbent. It will not direct the water throughout. And one thing that I believe is very important is to have evenness in the pot. Sphagnum moss does not layer. It becomes very evenly moist no matter where you put the water. You can put it from the top, you can put it from the bottom, you can put it on one side. It does not matter. It's gonna even out in a few hours. So I can get away with it like that because of the potting mix, but I'm gonna annoy you with how much I repeat this. You kind of have to adapt everything to what you have. If you need to water by soaking, soak. If you need to water by running water through the pot, that's how you need to do it. It doesn't have to be like me, but just wanted to give you a little window in my routine. So thank you guys so much for joining. Hope you've enjoyed hanging out with me today. Hope you have a great new year. And with that said, don't forget to subscribe. Check out my orchid channel. It's linked down below in the description. And with that said, I'll see you next time. Bye.